There would always, yeah, there would always be like 5 or 6 parties, and
Yeah.
maybe I would make it to 1 or 2, but he was always at all of them. You know, you could take the fastest cab. You could take the fastest cab across town that you possibly could make, and he was there before you, anyways. But my favorite memory of him is the conversations we used to get in at 2A. If anybody remembers ever going there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm happy that this book came out, so I'm going to read this Red Eye. In front of the Cappuccino and Clams, place next to the Auto Mall, across from the live chicken market, catty corner to the stockyard, a stone owl sitting on the fence post with one bitter red eye blinking as the 305 westbound train pulls out, jackhammer jeer snarling up from the wheel well, while my eastbound bus has just shot past like a bullet, leaving nothing tender tethered in its wake. I saunter a little, banter with my bile, barter a bit with a mildly mildewed loner loser for a butt, follow the woes of a black cat, making an, alas, last cameo appearance. Everybody's giving a wide berth to, hoping the next bus comes soon or now. Now would be a good time. A couple of heavy dudes with switchblades practicing in a giant elm shadow. Now would be a good time.
I just opened the book, and this is the poem I'm going to read. Anyway, I knew Lestor, and I often talked to him many times at 2A, and he was a very fascinating person because I was often shooting video and like right there on the street, and Lestor was there, and he I have a lot of video of Lestor. And he just picked up on what I was doing and added a lot, and I want to go back and pull the stuff out because it's I didn't realize that Lestor had died until fairly recently, and I remember him well. Anyway, I just open up the book here, and the Zen Way Out. The woman who almost made me lose my life, and I won't get into it. It's lounging in a chaste lounge, drinking that good champagne paid for by somebody else. Thank God.
Was it that bad?
That would be Buddha, wouldn't it? Dear Buddha, not that she isn't lovely or deserving, just that my life loves me and I reciprocate. Lestor.
Yeah. All right, now I gotta shut this off. I can't.
Please spread the word because we want to get a big crowd there because he loves to have a place for free and we can seat over 100 people there. So do come out.
Great.
Lestor would love it.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Hey, Michael.
What's up?
Sarah wants to read a little poem.
All right.
I wipe out all the poems I have ever written to you.
Is that the poem? Wow. So here I am in this crowd. Friends of Lestor Afflick, of which I was one. I am one.
Well, you know, one of my last fondest memories of Lestor was we were doing the thing over in like the meat market district where all the galleries were there and stuff, and it was, you know, you go to galleries, you know, crack to go to the next one, here's who's got a party, who's got a party, blah, blah, blah. Somehow Lestor hears of this party. It's like, I don't know whose lot it was or whatever. It's like, the person was obviously, into literature or something, very well educated. We get there, he's got like this huge book, you know, wall-to-wall bookshelf, all these wonderful books and stuff on there. And there also happens to be like a bottle of 16-year-old Lagavulin. So, you know, Lester's like, well, you know, we're here admiring the books. You know, maybe I'll just take a little bit of Lagavulin. Carter, you want some? I'm like, yeah, sure, man. So I probably drank about half of that bottle and then put it back. And I hope that guy isn't here tonight. But anyway, the next reader is going to be Danny Shaw. Yeah.
I guess last time I remember Lestor was sometime fall, maybe winter of 1999. And we started out the night at Tribes, some reading, and I remember we were drinking too many of the paper cups of cheap wine. And somehow my brother-in-law was there. My brother-in-law is about 15 years older than me, and he's a big, fat, loud guy. He just is. And somehow, me, him, and Lestor wound up at this party more uptown of some people who worked for cable TV. And we were just there, and we knew, the three of us knew hardly anyone there, and I just looked, and my brother-in-law, Leo, who just had separated from my sister, Carol, was giving Lestor advice on how to talk to women. And I was like, I couldn't believe it, but they were trying out their lines on these different, like, gorgeous women who just, like, was looking at the two of them, and I just started drinking a lot and moving to another side of the room. But we were all pretty drunk. This poem reminds me of Lestor and all that.
All right.
Scotch for Steve Cannon. Scotch, like I tried to tell you, I'm a civilized man. It may, I do believe, do no good, but it do go down so easy, don't it?
Yeah.
The mind needs, not needing much, just more Scotch, if you will, and please, thank you. Oh, barriers near, far, and falling. Saying hello, saying goodbye, say goodbye. There already and coming back, you again? Scotch, more of that, the same, yeah, please, and thank you. It may do believe, I do believe, do no good, but it do go down so easy, don't it?
I just got done with Lestor's reading. And like a lot of other events that I go to, I like to comment on my event and show the transition of leaving. I thought the event was kind of pretty nice because after like 8-9 years of Lestor's passing, there were still a lot of people that loved Lestor like I did. I would have liked to have known more about the stories that each people had about Lestor, which kind of got shared sort of incidentally, you know, as people were beginning to read. But in a lot of ways, I wanted to share a lot of stuff about Lestor and I didn't really say anything about how I knew him. And, you know, just what he was at my wedding. He was he was my best friend when he was alive. And even though I didn't get to see him that much, for a variety of reasons, and I didn't hang with him as late at night as some of his other friends did, I considered that we were pretty close. And you know, he used to come by, and I'd always buy him cigarettes or beer or something. I didn't really kind of connect with his poetry because I don't really connect with anybody's poetry that much. And so I was there more tonight as in solidarity for Lestor. I thought his poetry was great, but I was more moved by the way that people related to him. That's really was more touching. And I hope that the videos I put up from tonight inspire you to go to St. Mark's Bookstore, what is it? The one right around the corner, or to Tribes down in Lower Manhattan, or online and order Lestor's book, which is really worth it. My friend and deceased poet Lestor Afflick, and that's Marshall Sponder from New York, on my way to something else. And I think Lestor would approve. Bye.